For those who may not have met me, I see some new faces, new introductions. My name is Roscoe Cooper. I am the Fairfield representative and the vice chair of the Board of Supervisors, Fairfield representative for the Board of Supervisors. And we're so excited that y'all came out tonight to our Fairfield Forum. We have a great lineup here of presenters, very excited. I want to just say briefly, our last Fairfield Forum for the year will be held on December the 18th, and it's going to be held at the East End Recreation Center. So December 18th at 6:30 p.m., we're going to have our last Fairfield Forum. So we're going to go ahead and get started and ask Victoria Davis to come on up. She is our Outreach and Engagement Volunteer Coordinator. Come on, Ms. Davis.
Good evening, everyone. It is different being on this side of the platform. I'm used to being where Barb is, but it's so good to be with you all this evening. I have two quick slides I want to share with you all. Perfect. So I want to introduce you to our Outreach and Engagement Department. One of my colleagues, Ashley Giles, actually joined your meeting a month ago talking about senior resources. And so here at Outreach and Engagement, we're literally 1 year old, the youngest department in Henrico at this point. But our vision is to make sure that everyone in Henrico is thriving. And we do that with our core values and our missions of enriching all the lives who live, work, and play in Henrico by engaging the community and providing education and resources to promote equitable access to all opportunities. And so with that, we are launching a community engagement and contribution survey. And this survey has been open since October 1st and will remain open until December 31st. And we want to hear from you. We want to hear your voice. We want to know what's important to you. And we want to make sure that we're including those in our department initiatives for 2026 and going forward. And so with that, if you take a moment, you can scan the QR code here on the screen. It'll take you right to the survey, easy access, a few questions, just asking some demographic information, and then going right into the topics of what's important to you, just to really better understand our community. It will take about 5 to 7 minutes to complete at max, not too much time. And if you do not have an opportunity to do the survey tonight, still scan the QR code and you could just save it in your phone. You can also visit our website at henrico.gov/outreach, and it's right there on our main page as well. I would love for you to share this opportunity in this survey with those in your communities, so that way we're engaging everyone from all demographics. And then while I have just 2 more seconds, I wanted to launch 2 more initiatives that we're having to come up. So first, if there's any pastors or faith leaders in the room, we are launching our first Henrico Interfaith Summit on December 4th, that's a Thursday, and we'll be launching just initiatives and talking about how we can bridge the gap between our faith communities and government. So if you're a pastor, there are some postcards on the table that I will leave. If you would like to pick one up and register, you're more than welcome to do so. The registration for this summit will close Wednesday the 26th, which is right before Thanksgiving, because we'll be a week out from the event at that point. So if you know of your pastor or your leader or outreach pastor at your church congregation, feel free to share the postcard. And then we have a Winter Ready Emergency Preparedness Fair that is coming up on December 10th from 10 to 12:30 p.m. at the Eastern Henrico Rec Center. This is where we'll be sharing resources about winter weather emergencies and how to prepare your car, your home, your pipes for the winter weather that may or may not come. You know, Virginia, we experience all 4 seasons. So we just want to be prepared early. So these flyers are also out on the table. Feel free to grab one. And that's all I have to share with you tonight. Thank you for the time, Mr. Cooper. Is there any questions? I know I raced through that a little bit. Thank you, Mr. Goffrey. If you have any questions, I'll be around just for a little while. My business cards will also be on the table if you would like to talk to me after tonight. So the survey is solely online this time around, just so that way we can maintain the demographic of information in one centralized area. If you needed a printed out copy, I can do that and mail it to you. I'll just have to upload the data manually, which is not a problem. Yeah. Well, let's connect and I'll make sure they get a copy of that survey. Okay? I will. Yes, sir.
That is a great question. Thank you for asking that question because it's important for us to disseminate information in various ways because everyone is not as technologically savvy as others. So thank you for that question. Thank you, Victoria. Well, let's give her a hand. We're so happy for you. We are so excited for our next person, our Director of Department of Public Utilities, Mr. Bentley Chan. He's going to come and give us some updates pertaining to utilities. Can we welcome him as well?
Thank you, Reverend Cooper. Thank you also, Victoria. I will say that I am a Fairfield resident, a proud Fairfield resident. So I really like my supervisor. So yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Welcome everyone this evening to the Fairfield Forum. If you haven't been in this building, this is a very, very nice building. We were actually here way early this morning doing the state of the county. And if you missed that, the video is online. And so talked all about everything that was going on in the county, all of the exciting stuff from the past year, and looking forward to a lot of exciting stuff in 2026. But I want to get us started talking about public utilities. There we go. All right. So if you haven't heard, the county has a reservoir in Cumberland County, and it's the Cobbs Creek Reservoir. And we recently hit a like a milestone in getting the thing filled. And so this reservoir holds approximately 15 billion gallons of water and is situated on 1,100 acres. And so this reservoir ensures the county's drinking water needs for the next 50 years and beyond. And so one of the exciting things that happened even more recently is that the reservoir was named. And so it was named for our previous county manager, Virgil R. Hazlett. And so it is now I believe Mr. Hazlett is the longest serving county manager, and it is now named the Virgil R. Hazlett Reservoir at Cobbs Creek. And like I said, it does ensure the county's drinking water needs for the next 50 years and beyond, and it does that by releasing water into the James River that we can take downstream at our Three Chop Road plant and make delicious drinking water for the entirety of the county. And I do believe there is a nice video that shows. Okay, so this video will show the fish stocking. We may not have sound, but it shows the fish stocking that is happening at the reservoir. So the reservoir will be filled with fish, and in several years, those fish will be big enough for you to go and catch. So there's an interesting thing where they're shooting the fish into the water. And yeah, so it's very exciting. And so once we open to the public in a year, a couple of years, like there will be trails and it will be a nice park-like amenity. There you go. Yeah, into the water. Yeah, so Henrico has partnered with the Department of Wildlife Resources, the State Wildlife Resources Department, to support and maintain the facility in this area, and so they'll keep an eye on it and make sure that the fish are spawned and that they are at a good enough a good enough size that they can be caught and kept. So we're supposed to do, I believe, like 2 or 3 of these stockings, and every time they just add additional fish, and then they grow, and the reservoir will be well stocked for recreation. So there you go, coming out. Yeah, and so we have this boat ramp here that if you have a boat, you can put your boat into the water. And while there is some like water recreation, there isn't like you can't go swim because there is a lot of sunken timber, but you can use motorized boats on the water, as well as just enjoy the very nice scenery. And I hear they may do some tournaments uh, on the water. So, but yeah, if you when we open, if you get a chance, come on out. Happy that believe it's a 10 to 20 year a project in the making, but it'll be very nice to see it all done and open to the public. Oh yes, ma'am. So that area is kind of a natural bowl. We just built up the dams on the side to hold in the water. It's in Cumberland, so about 40 minutes from here, if you're driving. So you go past Goochland and you get there. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yeah. There are designated areas for, I believe, kayaking and if you do stand-up paddleboarding. But yeah, you just have to be careful with the more in the water activities. Yes. So in a way, yes, sir. So while we're on that subject, let me skip ahead a little bit. So we all remember the Richmond water crisis. Parts of Fairfield and all of Varina were without water for several days, as well as under boil water advisory. But I will say that out of that situation and through the leadership of Reverend Cooper and the Board of Supervisors, we've come up with a way to mitigate that, to build in more resiliency for the county and its residents. And so you may have heard about this project, which is the Easton Water Transmission, which is the Easton Water Transmission Project, which it's this green line here. So that's 13 miles of a 42-inch pipeline that traverses from west to eastern Henrico. Because what we found during the water crisis was there's a pinch point raceway where the pipes get smaller. And because the pipes are smaller, we weren't able to move water from our drinking water plant in western Henrico all the way to eastern Henrico. But with this pipeline, we'll be able to move enough water to satisfy the average daily use of residents in both Fairfield and Varina. And so we've already gotten started with this project. The Board of Supervisors has authorized not only the funding, but for public utilities to get started. And so in the coming weeks, you'll see a more formal authorization to begin the design process, and we hope that all of this infrastructure will be in place by 2030 or 2031. But knowing that that is a little bit of a time frame for all of that to be completed, we have put in mitigation measures that will ensure that the community has water for a more extended period of time in the event that the city's plant shuts down again. And so we've overfilled all of our tanks in the county, especially those in the eastern part of the county, as well as trained all of our staff to be in a kind of a strike team position, so that anytime that we hear that there's something going on with the city, our staff know where exactly to go, which valves to turn to isolate Henrico from the city and utilize those extra gallons of water in the tanks to satisfy us. And we understand from from the incident in May, as well as from our calculations, that we have 24 to 72 hours worth of play with those tanks being full. And so if you remember, there was an issue in, I think, late May, where the city had some, I think, filter problems, and the county never lost water because we put in all of those mitigation efforts. And so we'll continue to do that. We'll continue to make sure that the system is ready, that it's always tested, and that that we have very little issues if the city's water plant goes out again. But in addition to that, we are building this pipeline. There will be additional infrastructure that comes online to continue our efforts for water independence, as it were.
Won't be completed until 2030, if I heard you correctly.
Yes, sir.
But the reservoir is operational when?
So the reservoir is operational now. And so how the reservoir works is that we hold water, and during kind of low flow or drought conditions in the James River, we release water, meaning that we release water into the James River that we can take farther downstream to make drinking water. So it is several pieces that all go together to make sure that the entirety of the county has drinking water to use.
I have two questions. One, the treatment plant at Three Chop, will that be able to add to handle the increased flow coming from the reservoir? And two, currently the water from Richmond is not only coming to Henrico, but it's also going to Hanover. Will there be a deal with Hanover to take some of the water from that pipeline and replace the water they're getting from the city of Richmond?
So great questions. So the first one is that thankfully, and I credit the Board of Supervisors for this forward thinking, that our facility on Three Chop, the infrastructure is built in a way that it is easily expandable to accommodate all of the extra water as it is needed. And so the what we call the intakes, so the pipes that are directly in the river pulling that raw water in, those pipes were sized for the ultimate need of the county. And so we don't have to go back into the James River to put new pipes in. We just have to make our plant bigger. We have the site for it, and put in additional lines, especially these, to make sure that the water gets where it needs to go. And I will say that there is, trying to find it. Oh, here it is. So Chamberlain Avenue looks like that. There is right here. If you look closely, it says proposed connection to Hanover. And so where we cross over to Hanover's pipe, we're going to actually connect all of them and put in some valves. And when it's needed, we're going to open those valves and be able to provide water to Hanover. Yeah, thank you. So this is exciting stuff, and happy to talk more about it. But I know we got some other speakers to get to. But I did want to circle back and give you a little overview about the Department of Public Utilities. If you don't know, we're a full service public utility. We provide water, wastewater, and refuse collection or solid waste to the entirety of the county. We are an enterprise fund, so that means that when you pay your bills, we're able to do all of these things, and we don't necessarily take tax revenue. So all of our funding is from the rates and your utility bills. And so we design, construct, operate, and maintain all aspects of the water, wastewater, and solid waste systems for the county. I will say that just going back, our drinking water plant is an 80 million gallon per day drinking water plant currently. We have the ability to expand to 120 or 130 million gallons per day. So a lot of growth is available there. We have 1,700 miles of water distribution mains, 1,600 miles of sanitary sewer mains, and then 42 stations that kind of move everything back and forth. And our wastewater treatment plant is in the eastern part of the county, and that's 75 million gallons per day, but also expandable. So, and we talked about the Cobbs Creek Reservoir. So, a little out of order, but I do think that we were able to chat about a lot. So if you have any more questions, just let me know. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chan. Next, we're going to call upon Mr. Eric Lebo. He is our Director of Community Revitalization. Come on, let's receive Mr. Lebo.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper. Good evening, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to present. Thank you, Chris. I think that made it worse. Everything good now? All right. So thank you for the opportunity to present. I just want to share some information related to some of our housing initiatives that help lower and moderate income homeowners, as well as seniors and people with disabilities. I also want to talk about our enforcement of chapters 10, 22, and 24 of the Henrico County Code, and then some of the assistance that we provide to special populations that may have a physical or a financial hardship. Now, look us through this pretty quickly. Many of you all have probably heard about our Affordable Housing Trust Fund program. That's a $60 million investment that the Board of Supervisors and the county manager made to help make homeownership a reality for first-time homebuyers in the county. It's over a 5-year period where we're serving people or targeting people with incomes at 60% AMI to up to 120%. I'm going to get to that. Yep. So just for two-person household, for 60%, just to give you some context, it's about $54,500 for a two-person household. And then for 120% AMI, it goes all the way up to $109,000. So a pretty broad range of incomes that we serve. Again, you must be a first-time home buyer. And what happens is we provide funding that reduces the purchase price for that buyer. And this is an example of the crossings at Mulberry. So it's sort of off of 301 near the Azalea and 301 intersection. These units would normally sell north of $370,000. They're coming in at $250,000, $260,000, just to give you an idea of the price point that they're selling for with the assistance from the trust fund. We also provide down payment and closing cost assistance to first-time lower-income home buyers. We have two programs. One is a program that we provide up to $20,000 for an existing home or up to $25,000 for new construction. And it's for first-time home buyers, again, who are below 80% area median income, just to help them, again, enter the ownership market. So it's similar to the trust fund program I just talked about. It can be used in conjunction with the trust fund program. So if you're buying a townhome at the crossings at Mulberry, you can also tap into the down payment and closing cost assistance program that we have, so you can stack it with other programs. We also help county employees, just like any other benefit program that employees tap into, like healthcare, retirement benefits. We provide a benefit for county employees, if you know of one, to help them, if they're working for the county, to keep them at the county if they're talented and a good worker. We want them to stay long-term, so that's an incentive that we provide. Or if you know of someone that's looking to be employed with the county, this is a great incentive. Now, keep in mind, they have to work for us for at least 5 years after they receive the assistance, and they also have to have a good performance rating. They have to be here at least 12 months or more. We have programs for existing home buyers, existing homeowners. So we have a moderate rehab program that helps seniors or people with disabilities, still lower to moderate income. That's going to be a common theme that you hear me say. We go up to about $50,000 to help them remain stably housed in their own home. And then we have a critical home repair program that helps lower income homeowners, and that's with like any kind of major systems issues like plumbing, electrical, roofing, things of that nature, because we want people to be able to stay in their home. We don't want folks to lose their home. That goes up to about $10,000 max. And then we also have a roof repair program that helps lower income homeowners as well. And we do about 70 a year through one of our nonprofit partners. So with the moderate and the critical home repair, that's Project Homes. And then with the roof repair program, that's Richmond Habitat that does those repairs for homeowners in the county. Any questions about that before I move forward? Yes. So I think it's about 100 or so, and 25 of those units will be affordable through the Affordable Housing Trust Fund program. 62 or older, so 62 or older for the mod rehab program. And then for disability, it's permanently and totally disabled. All right. Yes. It's near Wilma. Yes, sir.
Okay. How much? You said it was 379,000 to move, to buy it initially?
So the market price would be over 360, 370, yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. But the homes will sell for much less than that, so probably about 250.
Okay, so does that include the discount that the assistance y'all are giving?
The 250 price, yes.
Okay, so it's 250 plus the assistance, or is it 250?
250,000 is the sales price after the assistance.
So it started off in the 300s and got reduced down to 250.
Yes.
Okay. Are you sure this is a good idea? I think it sounds.
I think it's a great idea. We're doing it. Yeah.
No, the reason I ask is it sounds like it's encouraging home builders to jack up their price so they can get people moving in there to get the county money to buy those homes, and that they would have been better off, instead of having this program for assistance, just tell the builders, you got to build these townhouses for $250,000.
Yeah, we can't
Because
tell them
it's
what to
taxpayer money that's helping these people buy homes, and a lot of older folks didn't have that assistance when they moved in 30 and 40 and 50 years ago, and they're not. I live off of Wilmer, and they're not happy with the way those apartments are going in, or the apartments at Helios, because basically they have jacked up the assessments of every home in that area. And the older folks, they don't all qualify for REAP or recap assistance programs. And this is why currently in Henrico County, the age of a first-time home buyer is now 40 years old. And I know one thing, if that is true, that's 15 years older than I was when I bought my home. And Lord knows how much older it is than other people in the neighborhood. I think the program is flawed badly because it helps the younger people or the first-time home buyer, but the current home owners are getting reamed in this deal.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. So in terms of code enforcement, we do enforce chapters 10, 22, and 24 of the county code. Tall grass, more than 12 inches in height, we will go out, we'll cite the owner for that particular violation. If they don't correct the violation, we'll hire a contractor. They'll go out and cut it for them and send them a bill. These are probably really bad examples or extreme examples of some of these violations, but trash and debris, inoperable vehicles on private property, trailers and RVs. So trailers and RVs, if it's drivable, it can be in the driveway. If it's something that you tow behind a vehicle, it has to be in the side of the rear yard. And then outside storage where people, couches, things that are meant to be inside of a home that are being stored outside of a home. What statement? No. So, yeah, so let me, so the market is what the market is, right? And we don't have the ability to tell a builder what to sell their home for. So what we're doing is we're allowing people, let's say kids that are returning home from college that want to enter the ownership market but can't. They're priced out. It could be people that are renting that are paying, pretty much everything they earn towards rent. They can't save enough money for a down payment, but they want to get into an ownership situation. We're helping those individuals enter the ownership market. We're not padding the pockets or providing extra money to developers. The developer could sell the home at 350 all day long, and they don't have to sell it to that particular home buyer that has has some challenges in terms of entering the market. So yeah, we're looking at their financials. They have to prove that they're selling those homes at, let's say, 350. They have to be able to document that they're selling it because we know they're selling over 75 other homes for 350. But what they're doing is they're reducing that price, making it affordable for the other buyers. Yeah, the assessment's based on the value of homes. So our program is not driving up the value of the assessments. That's what the market is. So for example, if they're gonna build $350,000 townhomes, they're gonna build them already. They're already in the works. What we're doing is making those $350,000 townhomes, letting them sell at a lower purchase price, or some of them, 25 of them out of 100 and so. Well, in that instance, they will own it at Mulberry, but we have some situations where with the Maggie Walker Community Land Trust, there's a ground lease between the land trust and the buyer. So then the buyer leases the ground, the dirt from the land trust, and that amounts backed out of the transaction. So then they pay a much lower purchase price because they're not paying for the land, and they're also getting some assistance to make the home more affordable.
Is the county assessor's office including these new homes in the area reassessments? Yes or no?
Every home is included in the assessment.
These homes that are being subsidized at the $350,000 are being used to judge the property values of homes that sold in that area for $40,000, $50,000, $70,000 20 years ago, which include raises their assessments and their insurance. And so what relief do you have planned for the long-term homeowners in that area for their assessment taxes from Henrico County? I have the solution. When you pay off your house and you don't have a home equity loan or anything like that, your home assessment should go back to what you paid for your home. In my case, it's been $49,000 back in 1980. I don't think the REAP program is successful as successful as this. You're letting people with the REAP program skate entirely. I think they should be paying a little bit amount of money. And 49,000 versus what my house is now assessed at is a big difference.
I wish my
And
house
the
was
insurance
assessed
was the
at
same way.
49 too.
Go. Okay.
I would love it too. I'd love my house to be assessed at a 49,000. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so we're always evaluating the program to make sure that not only just new home buyers are benefited, but also those who are in their homes. He stated some things that we're doing to help others, but even those who may need other assistance, we're always evaluating that. So just know our goal is not just always new homeowners, but the ones that already have a home as well.
I was just curious about, like he said, about the assessment process. If you have those townhouses that are 350,000 directly across the street are the houses built in the 1960s. So their property value, it doesn't go up because of those 350. It does go up because of the 350,000, but how do you all give them the assessment of their home? They're in houses built in the 60s, older homes.
So I guess the point I want to make is Stylecraft is the builder. Stylecraft was gonna build 100 homes at 350 regardless of whether the trust fund was involved or not. So if the real estate assessments are based on the value of homes in that particular area, then yeah, they're gonna go up based on the $350,000 amount for 100 and some odd townhomes.
But the home directly across the street from that 350,000, their tax assessment is still gonna be low because they didn't improve anything. Theirs is still.
It's based on the market. So the market has changed for everyone, right? So that's the reason that we created the program, was because in the last few years, I'd say probably 4 or 5 years, the cost to buy a home went up like 76% in the state. So that's why we're trying to provide opportunities for people to become first-time home buyers. You're talking about assessments, which assessments are based on the entire market area. So it's not based on just the homes across the street. They look at an entire area to base with those assessments, to come up with those base assessments.
So the higher priced homes at 350 are gonna make the lower priced ones built in the 60s, their assessment's gonna be more.
Yeah.
And the tax amount of taxes they have to pay.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with the trust fund program. The trust fund program's not driving up those.
I'm just talking about
values.
the assessment.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
'cause we're based, we're paying taxes based on the assessment. Newer homes, make the assessment go up. The older homes is now, the assessment is gonna go up, making them pay more taxes on an older.
Yeah, that's the truth for probably every locality in the state. The market has changed in the last 4 or 5 years. You're right. Yes, sir, Mr. Garthwaite.
Excited that I wouldn't want my house to sell for what I paid for it. Cause I paid $19,000 for it. I'd hate to think if I sold it tomorrow, that's all I got for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited that if I decide to sell my house now, for the fact that we got a subdivision right through the woods from it, not the woods, right across it, almost the sidewalk, that has raised the price of my house if I should decide to sell it and go somewhere. And then the next thing is the fact that I've been in my house for a long time. And if you check into it, the county's got an excellent program, a REAP program, where if you qualify, you don't have to pay taxes. So I'm fortunate my house is paid for. It's worth way, way more than what I paid for it. And I qualify for the REAP. So I look at the county as done me a great deal.
Yeah.
I'm excited for what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not begrudging that. I had my chance when I was younger. So I think it's great that the county is giving young folks a chance to get into a house where normally they'd be renting the rest of their life. So it's a win-win deal as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Mr. Garthwaite. And the other thing I forgot to mention, you mentioned recap. So recap does cap the increase in the assessment. So that is a program that's available to seniors. So if you're not aware of it, I'm happy to leave my card and share information about that. But that is a program that is available to cap the assessments. So if there are significant increases in the assessed value of homes, you have to meet certain criteria, right? Just like REAP, you have to meet certain age and probably disability criteria. That's a program that could help that homeowner across the street that bought for $40,000 if they are senior or permanently and totally disabled.
So can we talk about code violations?
Yes.
We can talk afterwards also, but I have a dilapidated resident next door to me, and the county has come out and had to cut the grass in the back of the house during the summer. But what the county was unable to do was cut back the vegetation that's encroaching on my property from this dilapidated property.
Mhm.
Well, with the winter season approaching, that vegetation is hibernating, so to speak.
Mhm.
Can the county come out now and cut that vegetation back? Because no one is living in this home. And it is an eyesore on the community.
Yeah, let's talk.
And this is not the first time that I've come to the county about this particular property. We need to find a resolution for this property. It's my understanding that the deceased homeowner who passed prior to COVID is still listed as the owner of the property.
Yeah, let's talk. We've
Okay.
done that where if it's a vacant home,
It's vacant.
technically,
It's
yeah, we're
vacant.
not supposed to cut the shrubbery, but we can cut shrubbery back. We usually do it only if it's a vacant home, but let's talk. I'll give you my card and we can talk about it.
Thank you.
Yes.
The REAP program, my community we all gathered and talked about, asking the county to lower the age of the REAP program, which is currently 65. Could it be lowered to 62? We waited and waited and waited. We got an email saying, well, that's not something that the county can change. That has to be changed by the state. And we're going to go before the General Assembly to address this. And we have heard nothing back since
Yeah,
then.
so the REAP program is administered by finance. I'm happy to give you my card and connect you with the right people to have that conversation. But we don't administer that program in our department. So I can't really speak on changes to the REAP program. I can connect you with the finance folks though.
I'd like to know, was it ever presented to the General Assembly like you all said you would do? Because we've heard nothing.
Yeah, we can follow up with that. Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna just keep moving. Do I have another question?
I have a question. I tried to get into the REAP program because I qualified. But because I have a relative now living with me who would not give his fiscal information to the county, I was disqualified. What was that?
I didn't say anything, sir.
You didn't. I know. I heard something else. My question is, what are the guidelines
Can
to
we
qualify for the REAP program?
can I get with you after this meeting and then I can connect you with finance and they can talk to you about this.
Okay, and then I have a question about the community cleanup.
Okay, let me get to that because that is in
Okay.
my presentation. All right. So I'm going to just speed us through for the sake of time. We do also provide limited one-time assistance, and we work with Ms. Davis to get volunteers to help with like trimming overgrowth, removal of trash and debris. We do provide roll-off dumpsters for people with either physical or financial hardships that need to get rid of like stuff that creates a code violation for us. And we'll do some limited grass cutting one time. I mean, we just can't cut everyone in the county's grass, but if it's a senior, a person with a disability, and they need some help, we've done that. And this is just an example of what we've done to cut some overgrowth on the property. No, we do not deal with trees because of the liability. No, we don't cut trees. These are volunteers that we're using. We don't cut trees with volunteers. We will help if there's a tree that's down on the property that just needs to be cut up. We can help with some of that, but we just don't have the capacity and the liability of cutting trees on private property. We don't do that. No, I think our risk manager would have, especially using volunteers. We're looking for volunteers, so if you're interested in helping out your neighbors, call Aubrey Cox. His number is 501-7628 or Cox, COX 024 at henrico.gov. So if you're interested in helping out, let us know. All right, and then community cleanup program. We work with public utilities on the cleanup program. So glad to have Bentley and Mr. Christian here tonight. I think it's about 62 or 64 areas that we're serving. We use certain criteria like the age of the households. We looked at where we have a concentration of code violations to select the areas. And it's basically a bulky waste pickup in certain areas of the county. We went from doing it every year to now we do it once every 3 years for the 64 areas. And these are just examples of the items that are acceptable and not acceptable. So nothing with the refrigerant, no, we don't want you to put your household trash out there. If you want to dispose of household trash, there are other means to do that. But if you have furniture, mattresses, try to limit glass, no glass, things like that make it difficult when they break on the street. Then we have to spend a lot of time cleaning it up. Large appliances, ovens, dryers, things like that. Tree limbs, small, less than 4 inches in diameter and 4 feet long. So again, kind of small stuff, not a whole, a big oak tree that you had cut down and you just want to put it at the street. Any hazardous items, you can't put that out. Anything else, Bentley or Alvin? Yes. Yeah, so also so Mr. Chan and Mr. Christian worked with a group to bid, it's called Turbo Haul, where residents can get a bulky waste pickup. It's not free, but it was a 65 or 68. It's 68 bucks. It's much cheaper than what you'd pay anybody else to come out and do. But you can get a lower rate through Turbo Haul. There's a number that you can call. If you go on the Public Utilities website, the information is on there in terms of how people can schedule that. And they can schedule it multiple times, right? If you're a REAP participant, you get free bulky waste pickups through Turbo Haul, right? I mean, 3 free bulky waste pickups. One a year, I'm sorry. I was trying to get you all an extra bulky waste pickup, but evidently. But you get one if you're a REAP participant. All right? No, neither will pick up hazardous materials. Yeah.
All right. I'm Alvin Christian. I'm the Assistant Director of Utilities. So those items need to be brought to either Springfield Road Transfer Station or Charles City Road Transfer Station. And we have an area marked that will tell you where to bring those liquids or hazardous materials. And each bin is marked as to where you should dump it. So that's part of it.
So the question was that is there an additional cost? And Mr. Christian said, there's no cost. You just have to dump it in the appropriate area. And it's $3 for the normal, like your normal trip would cost. Yes. Thank you. It's $3 each. Well, we'll send you that invoice for those times you did it for free. All right. Are there any other questions? If not, I'll turn it back over to Reverend Cooper.
Can we give Ms. Lebo a hand? Thank you, Ms. Lebo. So we're excited because it was important for me to bring to our forum those in person and online, not just our utilities director and assistant director, but we also have our public works assistant director. He's new to the role, Mr. Gilberto De Leon. Can we give him a hand as he comes assistant director of public works?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the introduction. Glad to be here. All of 3 months with the county. I'm very happy to be here. Excited. So, as Reverend Cooper said, Gilberto De Leon, I'm the new Assistant Director for Public Works. I oversee design, transportation, and construction for the county. And let's see, today we will be talking about pedestrian safety, upcoming projects, and some projects in construction in your district. So let's start with safety. You see right there the WOA vest, the watch out ahead Henrico vest. We have plenty of those outside, so please grab one on your way out. Very important that you remain visible, stay visible when you're out and about walking. This QR code will take you to the link where you can get more information on our Watch Out Henrico program. Looking at the numbers, you'll see that we had 9 pedestrian fatalities in 2023. We went up to 12 in 24. So far in 25, we are up to 11 through October. So numbers are trending in the wrong direction. We want to make sure that we stay visible, stay vigilant. If you are a pedestrian, a biker, or a driver, you have to watch out and be alert for pedestrians. So some tips is to remain safe out there is stay alert. Look for pedestrians, even when you're driving. Be on the lookout and watch out to make sure that you are visibly trying to find pedestrians when you drive out and about. It's difficult to react. It's hard to see, and so if you are a pedestrian, make sure you're visible. Make sure you have bright or reflective clothing. Make sure that you stay predictable. That you use the facilities. That you use the crosswalks and sidewalks so that you remain safe. It takes a village. So it takes all of us drivers, pedestrians, and bicyclists all working together to ensure safety. and want to make sure we want to keep these numbers down, right? We're trending in the wrong direction and we want to be able to reverse that. Never assume drivers can see you. If you're walking, if you're cycling, don't assume they can see you. Don't assume, make sure that you stay visible and stay safe. So with that, these are actually older numbers, and I apologize for the numbers being so small, but what that says is we have 288 miles of sidewalks. These numbers have increased quite significantly, 56 miles of paved shared use path, 60 miles of bike lanes. We have 23 shelters, 74 now active pedestrian safety improvement projects that total up to $570 million. So we are very active and very aggressive in the county trying to provide for facilities across the county. Yeah, and if you have any questions, just please go ahead and raise your hand and I'll be happy to address those as they come up. But yeah, moving forward, we have 1,400 miles of roads and 288 miles of sidewalks. So we are behind and we are working very hard to catch up and add facilities as we go along. So some examples of what these facilities look like. Here's a crosswalk at Henrico High School and a completed sidewalk in Lakeside Avenue. Again, we are hard at work. It takes a lot of work to get these projects to the start line. Once they're at the start line and we can start construction, they go on quick. With the permits, right-of-way, utilities, that takes a lot of work and a lot of time and coordination with a number of stakeholders. So we appreciate your patience in all this, but we are hard at work trying to get these projects off the ground.
Can we talk about the pedestrian crossing at Sandpiper and Azalea right there at the high school, Henrico High School?
Yes, what is your question?
So one of the things, I'm from the Meadowwood community across from the high school, and we have a major concern there. And I'm not sure if that crossing is is providing the safety that we think necessary for the children from our community going to school. Because if I'm not mistaken, that's not a red light, that's an Auburn light. So when it's pressed, I believe the yellow lights are flashing. And I don't know if that's enough safety. One of the things that we've been talking about, and we've discussed it with Dr. Cooper as well as Mr. Clark as well. We would like to see a traffic signal light at that location. Based on traffic survey that was completed by the county, we know that that is a high area, impact area for pedestrian crossing. We've been fighting this issue for a number of years now.
Okay.
For a traffic light. I believe that the county is looking at doing some additional safety options as opposed to a traffic light. One is a roundabout. The second is bike lanes, which will take away a traffic lane on Azalea, which will give it a bike lane. So now we've reduced a 2-lane down to 1 lane. So can you advise where the county is on the status of safety at that location? Because we're still waiting and we've not gotten any word back at this point.
Yeah, and I would like to know who you've been talking to specifically on Public Works so that I can follow up with that individual. But again, like I said, we are very aggressively pursuing safety countermeasures at all locations. So if this looks like a 4-lane,
it's a 4-lane.
So if we were to say do a road diet at this location, speaking purely hypothetical, I don't know the warrants and what the speed conditions are off the top of my head.
35 miles per hour.
So that's probably one of the reasons why we can't have a traffic signal here, depending on traffic numbers and the amount of lanes. Now, a road diet and reducing this to a 2-lane with a road diet or a 3-lane with a center turn lane would help, as well as a roundabout. So all the options are on the table. It'll all come down to whether it is warranted. You know, if the traffic allows, if the community wants it, right? We would have to go out with surveys and survey not just folks in the room, but everybody in the community to make sure that we're meeting the community's needs. So let's connect afterwards. I'll give you a call so that we
Let me also say that if you're trying to get out of our subdivision around anytime after 7:30 a.m., and I say maybe about an hour, it takes you quite a period of time to 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 get through that intersection. And we do know that the residents of Meadowwood want to see a traffic light. One of the things that we did here at one of our community meetings was that, I, please, and I may be paraphrasing this, that we were waiting for authorization from VDOT to provide us to provide information whether or not we could do that. And I don't understand why we're waiting for authorization from VDOT when it is a county road. VDOT doesn't push snow. VDOT doesn't do infrastructure maintenance on that road. So I'm not sure why we have to get authorization from VDOT.
Yeah, and we'll follow up. Let me give you a card and I'll follow up to get all the details from you and see why you got that answer. Because like you said, if it's a county road, it's county responsibility.
That's what we're thinking as well.
Okay, so we'll follow up. So moving on, this is question, go ahead.
The follow-up, he's from Meadowwood subdivision. I'm from the Village of Azalea issue. And ever since the Amazon place went in there, we've had numerous tractor trailers tearing up Azalea Avenue. And if they think they can put a 1 lane each way down there, it's gonna be tough enough to get out of those apartments, not only at 7 o'clock in the morning. You go over there about 3 o'clock when school starts getting out, and you go down that stretch of road to Richmond Rifle Turnpike. It's hopeless. The traffic just keeps coming and going and coming, and the shift change at Amazon.
And that's the Amazon right by the
racetrack.
There you go.
Right. So whoever approved Amazon going in there did not do their due diligence at how much traffic that place was going to create for not only his subdivision, my subdivision, the Stukely Hall subdivisions, and the apartments at Wilkerson and Azalea. And the traffic situation there has deteriorated massively in the last year and a half in the existence of Amazon. They need to ban the tractor trailers from Azalea. They're going to Amazon, and the ones coming out of Amazon, and also the tractor trailers coming by out of Sweetie Boy at the intersection of Carolina and Laburnum that coming out that way. They need to be coming up Richmond Rifle Turnpike from Hanover, not down 301 Chamberlain to Azalea to hang a left at that stoplight. And that's another traffic jam you got developing, especially with the apartments going in there at that intersection. You got a lot of work in that area. You're going to be getting a hold of real soon, and I can see it coming. So it's not the Compass. What was that apartment complex you mentioned earlier at Mulberry? The Mulberry thing. They didn't allowing that place to be built in the manner and the excess from that area was not done properly. And the intersection going into that shopping center at Brook Hill Azalea where the food line is going to be jammed badly. And something needs to be done now before some people get hurt. Also, in regards to that crossing at Henrico High School, that was put up. Nobody in my subdivision knew about it. And I'm questioning, okay, it says if a pedestrian is in that intersection and the light's blinking, you got to stop. I see people zipping down that road. I want to know how many cars have been rear-ended who tried to follow the law and got rear-ended by cars behind them, stopping for those pedestrians. It's not a good design at all either. And I've been a resident over there since 1980. And I can see it declining real bad. Because it used to be 45 down in Azalea when I moved over there. Yeah, the one on the left. You talk about the roundabout? Okay, maybe a roundabout or stoplight. I support the stoplight idea. You put a stoplight up at Wilkerson Road, that worked. You put one up there at Sandpiper, because that whole road is going to end up stoplights, much like from Chamberlain, from Azalea to Brook Hill Azalea apartments at the entrance to 295. You're going to need about 4 sets of stoplights in that area in the next 2 years.
We'll do the traffic studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do the traffic studies to look at it. So moving on to sidewalk projects in the district. Here's one example of a pedestrian sidewalk project that we have at Mechanicsville and Laburnum, and this actually keeps going towards Adams and the, help me out, Mr. Cartwright. Mechanicsville, yeah, so Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you need to involve the message stakeholders. So, yeah, so
I think it's moving slow, but I also realize when you're getting involved in, getting right away from people's lands and buying land and all like that, but, it's moving and I'm excited. The biggest thing I'm excited about, we have some, group homes in the area. And now sometimes they wander into the road, the street. And, now once we get that sidewalk, they'll have a sidewalk to walk, to the shopping center. So it's a great improvement.
great safety improvement. Yeah, so this one, we are
Yeah.
about to hit the start line. Once we
Yes, you're close. You're close.
Yeah, we will get going. Fall Line Trail, a lot of work is going on in the background of Fall Line. We are working on right away utilities, and we actually finished phase one. That's Bryant Park to Spring Park. Phase two, Spring Park to Dumbarton is expected first quarter of 26. And Lakeside to Hilliard is under design right now. So there's a lot of work in the background. We are very excited to get in, this one going as well, because Hanover has completed their section, so we are ready to go on our section. So with that, I want to get into a couple of projects, and I may hit Dumbarton a little harder than the other ones, but upcoming transportation projects in the area: Dumbarton Road safety, mobility improvements, Lakeside Avenue Bridge replacement, Magellan, and Richmond Henrico Turnpike. So with Dumbarton, that one is in construction right now, and I guess we didn't give enough heads up for folks to know that this was going to happen, and some folks have expressed some concerns, but we did have signs up. We had put a notice out. It's been a while, so that's probably why it was missed. Today we went out with social media and others, and we will do better in communicating anything that's going out in the district moving forward. But yeah, this is a great improvement project. This is a great example of a road diet is what we call it, with reducing the 4 lanes to a 3-lane with a middle turn lane, sidewalks, and pedestrian bike lanes. So yeah, any questions on Dumbarton? So the question is, how many people, how did we figure out how many people ride on Dumbarton? We have a number of software that we use. City, I know that Strava has a software that we can use, but ultimately it's about providing the facility. We want to make sure that if somebody needs to use the facility for biking and or pedestrian, they're going to use it anyways. And if there is no sidewalk or bike lane, they're going to be on the road, and that they're going to become a vulnerable user. So it's not as much the point of providing a facility for people that ride it, is having it there. So then when people need it, they have it and they can use it in a safe way. I hope that answers.
There is sidewalk on both sides of the road.
Yeah.
Not on both?
Yeah.
There's no marking now to tell you where you are. I almost got
Yeah, we are.
slammed tonight coming here
Yeah.
because there's no arrow, there's no nothing. All of a sudden, 2 lanes go into one, and you don't know which lane is the correct
So
one.
so we need to improve pavement markings is what you're saying, because you couldn't really tell where the lanes were.
I was on Dumbarton coming into Lakeside Avenue,
Yeah.
coming this direction.
So we'll get in touch with our folks in Public Works.
There's
and
no
have that
bicycle,
corrected.
there's no lines there. I don't know what
Yeah.
this extra.
Yeah, they just repaved it, so we have another question.
There are lines in the road. They're just not marked yet. Like there's no turn things. Correct. There's lines. They just put the bike lines in. I saw them today. I drove on it. I live right
Yeah,
there.
we're actively
too.
working. We're actively working.
Written on the
No,
frame.
they're doing it. They're in the process.
Yeah,
So maybe tomorrow they'll,
yeah,
but today they didn't have time.
yeah. But we are actively working on. something this simple will be a couple days. We'll be done in a couple days. This won't be long at all. This is just a striping pretty much.
Is there some way to alleviate the traffic that's sitting on Dumbarton now?
Yeah, so
The
we'll
lights need to be changed on Lakeside Avenue. Traffic backs up almost to the bridge at Hilliard, not Hilliard, Staples Mill. It's ridiculous when it's traffic time there
yeah, and
with
so
only one lane of traffic.
I'll make sure to contact my folks to make sure that they address traffic control devices out there. But yeah, Dumbarton is literally in construction and will be completed within a few days. Lakeside Avenue Bridge replacement. This one had a detour that's been since open. Verizon has already moved their utilities, and we should go to advertisement in the next couple of months. So that bridge replacement is also nearing the start line. Once we hit it, we'll be able to get it done quickly. Magellan Parkway, it was recently awarded to a contractor, so we're moving forward on both sides of Magellan, the bridge side and the one that's under contract right now. So completion should be end of 27, and we will begin construction there in early 26. Very excited about Magellan Parkway. And very quickly to close up, Richmond Henrico Turnpike South. We're looking for a December ad, so we should be moving forward on that one as well. We'll go to advertisement in December and construction shortly thereafter. Go ahead, sir. Correct. Yes. Yes. So I say yes. If we can get through the approval processes, we should be in construction early 2026.
Project,
At least 18 months, if not more. Yeah.
Is this part of the 2016 referendum that was passed to do that to that segment of Richmond Henrico Turnpike that was $14 million allotment?
I will have to check on that. 2016.
Yeah, there was 5 referendums on the ballot. One was on a fire station. I think one was the Wilkerson Road project. One was some school project or firehouse project out, I think, out in Highland Springs, and the Richmond Henrico Turnpike was the 5th one. They all passed overwhelmingly. And so I don't know if this is the part, because they said 14 million. And I'm looking at the cost. If 14 million in 2016, can that still be done for the 14 million, or are they going to have an added cost?
I doubt it, but I will check on that for you because I would know at this point. There's another question.
Could you tell us what's happening on Wilkerson Road near Wilder Middle School? There's been a lot of tree removal and the space is getting larger and larger.
So I hear that it's apparently a parking lot going in. Yeah. Okay. I will certainly circle back with you, ma'am. I'll give you my card. Let me keep going. So word on the street, just to close out. If you scan this QR code, you can sign up for a word on the street so you can keep up with anything that's going on in the county or in your specific district. It's very easy to sign up, and it's a great resource if you need information and you want to get, in touch with what's going on. You can go ahead and scan this QR code and get on the list for news and updates from the county. And go ahead. Yeah, okay. So update the project's site. So looks like everybody scanned. So with that, that's my contact information. Happy to answer any questions. Just come find me afterwards and I'll give you my card. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gilberto. Welcome to Baptism by Fire, my friends. Let's look at this as a test case. Amen. So we're grateful that every Fairfield Forum, when he's able to, which he has been each one, our school board representative from Fairfield District, Mr. Ryan Young, has been in. He's here tonight. Let's welcome our school board representative, Mr. Ryan Young. All right, I actually got something.
As everyone is getting that, I want to welcome y'all to the Fairfield Forum. I am Ryan Young. I'm Fairfield District School Board Rep. I did not know they were going to use that photo, but that's amazing. As you look over the sheet, you'll see a snapshot of the incredible work happening across the Fairfield District and Henrico County Public Schools. It highlights the committees that I serve on, the schools I represent, and the major achievements our students, teachers, and schools have earned this year so far. You'll see key accomplishments like increased teacher certification, new specialty programs, national recognition, expanded mental health services, construction updates, including the campus of Virginia Randolph, and major awards earned by our Fairfield District schools. Overall, this handout is meant to give you a clear picture of the progress we're making, the investments happening in our schools, and the continued commitment to student success, equity, wellness, and academic excellence across the Fairfield District. One of the key things, if you're looking at the back right now, one of the things I think we're most proud of in the county is our Henrico Cares program, with mental health being at an all-time high for our students right now. We have two programs that have really changed the game when it comes to mental health services in Henrico County. That's Care Solace, which is like a concierge service for mental health. If you're going through a mental health, whether it's a breakdown, it's a crisis, sometimes the biggest hurdle is trying to find someone to talk to. So with that being said, the Care Solace is like a concierge service. You call a number, and they get you in with a mental health professional within 3 weeks. Normal time is like 6 weeks. So, I mean, for those who haven't gone through a mental health crisis, I wouldn't know who to call, what to do, how to find out. But this Care Solace program has been beneficial to our families. The other one is Hazel Health, which is teletherapy. All of our high school students can literally log on and talk to a mental health professional anytime, 24 hours, 7 days a week. And our superintendent this morning at the state of the county said that suicide rates have gone down 10%. So we're starting to see some traction on the Hazel Health and the Care Solace program. And another thing is, speaking of this picture, this is Miss Jewel from Brooklyn Middle School. She won the REB Awards, which is basically the highest distinguished award you can get from the Central Virginia area. And she won this award. She's one of our best teachers, 25 years of service. The award comes with a grant for $15,000, where she's able to travel to London and Quebec. I think it's the American Revolution War. She can bring that information back to her students. But the reason I like this photo, and I'm glad actually that they used it, was she was a teacher at Hungry Creek Middle School. And recently, Brooklyn Middle School became an opportunity school. And you can see that maybe halfway down the page, we made them an opportunity school this year. And any opportunity school receives targeted resources, stipends, and professional development for their dedicated staff. So she moved as a teacher fellow. And the teacher fellow is an experienced teacher that goes into schools who have high turnover rates for teachers. So they need more help there. So she's able to move over into the Brooklyn district this year. She won the award this year, and she's helping our teachers do their lesson plans. She teaches only one class. So this is someone that they can go to in the schools to help them with their lesson plans and kind of get them on track. So I'm excited about that. And as I go through the day, I'm just going to give up. I mean, we did this maybe 20 days ago with the last forum, so I don't have a whole slideshow for you today, but I did want to speak to several ways that you can get involved with Henrico County Public Schools through volunteerism. So just going to speak to that tonight. One of the ways that you can get involved with us is through our Henrico Heroes program. Henrico Heroes is a school division volunteer program. No education background is needed, just a willingness to show up and help out. Volunteers can read to students, mentor a young person, support a classroom, help during the school day, assist teachers with tasks like copies or lesson prep. You can go online. I put the QR code up there. If anybody wants to scan it, it's going to take you to the site. You can sign up there. This has been big for us. Back to the sheet again, I think a Wilder Middle School mentor of the year last year, Dana Lentz, which they go over and beyond in our schools. So you take a young person, you mentor them, whether it's 1 day a week, 1 hour a week, multiple times a week, but it's really been instrumental for our kids that need it in the community. So for those that's looking to kind of get involved in schools, I know Mr. Gothright stays in Glenlee. I'm not sure if you're a mentor, you probably mentor the whole school, Mr. Gothright, but I know you're one of our Henrico heroes that is constantly in school. So every time some people try to figure out where they can help at, you can literally go into your school, let them know that you want to volunteer and help out, and they'll give you an assignment. And that's what we need. We need our community back in our schools. Just today, myself, and then as I'm headed over there, I get a call from Reverend Cooper telling me he's going to meet me there. So we went over to the Henrico Christmas Mother warehouse today to help out. We had our equity ambassadors, which is 5 from each school, each high school. They took buses over to the Henrico Christmas Mother, and they helped separate canned goods. They put up Christmas trees in there. They unloaded trucks. The pictures are all over on Facebook and Instagram right now. But it was a really good time to see our young folks in there learning how to give back, right? Learning. Me and Roscoe, we went in there. We helped out for a little bit. We took a tour. The building's tremendous, and we need more help. So all of our high schools and all of our elementary schools right now are gathering canned goods. So if you have some canned goods, you're close to a school, please feel free to go over to the school and donate. Today, I think we unloaded Douglas Freeman, if I'm not mistaken. They picked up from Douglas Freeman almost 2 trailers worth of food. I think they said somewhere around 11,000 cans were donated. So if you want to do that, the Henrico Christmas Mother, it's a time of need right now for a lot of families. And Miss Delegate Boland, she's not here tonight, but as a county, we recently did the Henrico Harvest last weekend, where the entire Henrico delegation got together and we worked out, except for me. I admit I wasn't there. I had something else to do, but all of us got together and really, I think we delivered 2,000 pounds of food to Feed More. And the Henrico Community Bank as well. So the whole Henrico delegation got together to do this around this time of year for our families. So if you have it in you, please, it's on Dabbs House Road. If you want to volunteer for our Henrico Christmas Mother, that would be amazing. Another opportunity that we have, which is our Henrico Education Foundation. It's our strongest nonprofit. Partner impacts thousands of students and teachers every year. Health provides classroom innovation grants, mental health and support, funding for programs that expand access and opportunity. Donations go directly back to HCPS. Many Fairfield schools benefit from health-funded programs, like a lot of our after-school programs are funded by health. That's our donation arm of HCPS. So if you want to help out or if you want to learn more, it's henricogives.org. Right now, each teacher can submit anything they want to do, they can submit grants for to the health program. I think we have our innovation center. They did like electricity, created this electricity model for kids over in Africa, and that was funded by our health program. And you see all these innovative things coming along from our teachers that want to do different things within their classrooms. The Health Foundation is instrumental in allowing them to kind of do things outside of the borders of normal schools. So if you want to give, it's henricogives.org. And then our last is our Boots on the Ground. That's our family and community engagement team that's housed out of the Oak. We also have another hub coming at Virginia Randolph, and then our third hub will be in Quioccasin. So we cover in Western Henrico, we cover in the central part of Henrico at Virginia Randolph, and the eastern part of Henrico over at the Oak. And our health program, which is called FACE, connects family with resources and support learning, breaks down barriers for family engagement, builds partnership with faith groups, nonprofits, and businesses, hosts workshop and engagement events, works closely with principals and teachers. Strong family engagement improves attendance and academics. And then our FACE is FACE, Family and Community Engagement, can also be found on our HCPS website. FACE is, every time something goes on with the family, our FACE team and our family advocates get involved, whether that's homelessness, McKinney-Vento kids, whether it's a kid that missed school that day, they can go pick them up, get them to school. So we're eliminating the barriers when it comes to absenteeism. So our family advocates are at all of our Title I schools. So you can always find a family advocate that was willing to help. And anytime you see a community-driven event, normally it's our FACE team that's out there. And with that being said, so we have 4 things. We can volunteer through Henrico Heroes. We can donate to Henrico Christmas Mother. We can support the health program, and we can connect with faith. And most importantly is we can spread the word about these different programs and these opportunities that's available. I will like to close with a couple other announcements. When it comes to redistricting, the school board is scheduled to vote on December the 18th on the redistricting proposal. For the Fairfield District, this involves moving the Central Gardens community into Henrico High School. It also involves the Chamberlain Farms community and Lakeside Terrace community coming into Henrico High School as well. Further west, you see some students from Tucker because they're at about 106% capacity moving into Hermitage, and then you see not the Central Gardens, you see the Chamberlain Farms community will be moving away from Hermitage into Henrico if passed. So we'll see what goes on with that, but the final vote will be on December the 18th. It's important to get it done by December the 18th so communities and families can start picking out which high schools they want to go to and what programming that they want to submit applications to. Say that again. Yep. So the question was, if the redistricting passes on December the 18th, will kids that are currently going to Hermitage or Highland Springs be able to stay? And the answer is yes. If you attend the school, you can stay there to graduate. This will only apply to our 8th graders. That's going to be rising 9th graders. And then if you choose to come and you're already at a school, you can do that as well. But that's something that we decided to do. If you started at a school, you get to finish at that school because you already built your community. You might be on a sports team, you might be in a club. So we want to be able to keep that option open for kids and not disrupt families too much. And outside of that, some of the things that we're doing, I think partnership is important. I think Henrico is finally finishing all of our renovations. Do we have a question?
So what time is the meeting, and is it located out on 9 Mile Road?
Yes, sir. It's at the New Bridge Learning Center.
Right.
The meeting will be, we have our work session, which normally starts at 3 o'clock. I'm almost certain that the vote will happen at the 3 o'clock session, and then we have our nightly meeting at 6:30. But I'm almost certain that the vote will be at the 3 o'clock meeting on December the 18th.
Is public able to attend that?
Yes, sir. Yep. It's open to the public, and it's live streamed on YouTube. So you click on the link. Yes, sir. And then real quick, just want to talk about me and Reverend Cooper's partnership at Henrico High School. It's a lot of amazing things going on over there. We just finished a brand new floor for the gym. We got a new score clock. We have a new weight room. We have new benches out there for our kids. We redid the tennis courts. We're getting ready to break ground at some point on brand new baseball and softball fields, which will be 100% turf, meaning no dirt on a baseball field, which I find to be weird, but I'm looking forward to it. But the investment that Reverend Cooper has made into Henrico High School is nothing short than amazing. And right now we're also building out and renovating for our new cybersecurity program that will be starting next year. That's our specialty program that will be coming into Henrico High School. But thanks to Reverend Cooper, Henrico High School is going to be state of the art. It's a long time coming. I'm excited about it. I can't wait. See Mr. McLean right here, my Meadow Bridge family. Yes, sir.
Mr. Young, I just want to say that you and Dr. Cooper has done Meadowwood well. And I want to give you guys your flowers. I want to give you guys your flowers because you truly have done. It's the 18 as far as we're concerned. But following our last meeting that you attended, and we approached you about the traffic signal light as well. But one of the things that we thought would enhance our chances with this traffic signal light would be to meet with Henrico County's high school PTA. And we would like to know, is that possible that we can meet with their PTA so that we can discuss this traffic signal light with them as well? Our thought process is if we get their backing as well, we'll get them some additional support for this traffic light.
Yeah, absolutely. I can actually connect you with Ms. Wiggins. She's our PTA president. So I connect you with her. She's more than willing to meet with you. I'm in full support of anything that makes our kids safer crossing that street. I crossed that street from Meadowwood in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So I know how dangerous it can be. And this was before the Amazon and other programs and other developments started happening there. So I'm full support of if we can get a traffic light. And it's an older community, right? Like I fear for my mom making that left turn out of that neighborhood every single time she leaves. So it is a safety concern. It's an older community now, a little bit slow, and then if I could put in a personal request, I don't know who I need to speak with. Maybe it's you, Dr. Cooper, but if we could increase the speed limit back up to 45 on Wilkerson, that would be amazing. I see our police officers back there because, yeah. So if we could do that, I got pulled over. Yeah. it's habit. It's habit. I've been driving that road my whole life. It's habit. I put the cruise control on there. It won't happen again. But thank y'all for coming out tonight. And I'll stick around if you need me. Oh, sorry, Mr. Goffright. Yes, sir.
And he was able to get the funds secured, and they put up a new marquee, and it's beautiful. And I just want to thank him for it. In the neighborhood, when I drive through there, the beautiful lights all lit up. It's like, it does my heart good to see it. And thank you, Reverend Cooper.
Yeah, and Mr. Goffright, you know, I try to limit how much credit I give him, but I will say this. We have Glenlee that's been done. We have Lakeside that's been done. We have Harvey that's been done, and Ratcliffe that's been done. So he's put 4 digital marquees up. He's revitalizing literally all of our schools, and we should be able to look at our schools and be proud of our schools, and he's making it happen. So I do. Go ahead. 50,000. You do that times 5 schools. So the investment is real. Yes, sir. Dr. Cooper, thank you, sir. Thank y'all.
I want to just recognize our police in the back. They're just here for support. Come on up real quick and just, y'all not gonna say nothing because I know if we give Officer Parker the mic, we'll be here past our time. But he knows that. He's my friend. He's my brother. So just, and they're here to answer any questions, any conversation you might have. All 3, just tell everybody real quick, just tell them who you are and tell them your role, and they're available to talk to you. Yep.
How y'all doing? I'm Officer Broadus. We all work in the community policing unit for the county. We focus on, we're like SROs in the neighborhood, so we work directly with the Board of Supervisors very closely. I work in the Verona District on the Tyrone Nelson.
Good evening, everyone. Thank y'all for coming, showing support to your community. I'm Officer Parker of the Fairfield District. Most of you guys know me for the most part. Well, y'all should. Send you out emails. Thank y'all for coming. I know I sent this out as well. Pretty much, like you say, we're SROs for the community. So we're here to answer any questions. Anything that you need from us, you can get it. With that being said as well, I want to give y'all a little bit of advice from my other partner that comes up. The holidays are around the corner, which is Thanksgiving. Please be mindful, lock your doors. Be mindful, young ladies, things that we're seeing constantly. You're leaving your purses in the grocery carts at the stores, and people are definitely picking those up. So I want you to be mindful. Gentlemen, wallets, front pocket right now. These are things that make a difference. We want to keep the community safe, which have a great, safe holiday, and definitely keep your keys in your hand as well, okay? Thank you guys for your time.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Officer Loy, and I work primarily in the East End, but my area I serve has a little bit of Verona and a little bit of Fairfield. Right now, I'm in the 9-mile corridor, Highland Springs, that section of town. And for a while, I did cover Parker's area when he was severely injured in his job duties. And I got to know some folks in this room, especially my buddy here, Mr. Garthright. It's good to see him out here this evening. I thought I recognized that voice. But yes, I'm over there just beyond the border, but I could not attend any of Mr. Nelson's meetings, so I want to come out here and hang out with you guys this evening. So good to see you, sir.
You too.
Thank you now.
Well, thank y'all, man. It means a lot to us. We really do. And Officer Lowe, I'm gonna make sure I tell Reverend Nelson, you picked the better part. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I want to be within our time frame. I want to thank you all for coming out. We have one more Fairfield Forum. No, I don't want that one. No. There we go. I want to just real quick, our Board of Supervisors meeting, our next one is going to be December the 2nd at 6 p.m. They're always online. And the next Fairfield Forum is December the 18th, 6:30 at the Eastern Henrico Recreation Center. This is my 3rd forum. December will make the 4th for the year. If you have some suggestions for the forums, Barb is standing in the back. She's our communication director for the Board of Supervisors. Please share with her ideas. I've tried to be very judicious in what we've offered. We've offered information on our Department of Public Utilities, Department of Public Works, housing projects, schools. Every meeting Mr. Young's been here, infrastructure projects, all this year. So if there's something that you want to hear about, please share with Barb in the back before you leave. And if not tonight, Barb, I have my cards back there, correct? My cards are back there. Take a card, call me, email me. Love to hear from you. That being said, thank you all for being here tonight. Enjoy your evening. Hopefully see you on December 18th. Have a good night, everybody.